wanted it. Like, I wanted that shape. That's the shape that I wanted. And I wanted to look like that. And I think the older you get tired of having to hop into your jeans. Or you get everything in me. And what women don't know what's going on right now, if you got those shots 4 or 5 years ago, you're gonna be sick. It's no avoiding it. Wow. It's nothing you can do to avoid it. And they not telling girls still getting it.
Okay, y'all better get somewhere, sit down, and be ready for this one. Because K.Michelle is finally showing the scars from her countless BBL surgeries and is letting the world know that going under the knife really wasn't worth it. K.Michelle looks nothing like the woman that we met and who rise to stardom on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And for years, people have been begging her to put a pin in it and just let it end. But for a long time, she didn't listen until a health scare got her singing a different tune and turning things around. Now she's out here warning other women to stay far away from the doctor's table as possible.
I got all of this surgery and stuff like that thinking, it was gonna make me just, feel great about everything. And new teeth, either the new breasts, ass, lipo, face fillers, everything, you know what I'm saying?
You did all that?
Yeah, I do love my fillers. The happiness can't come from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was still like, okay, people like, oh, she's pretty or she's this. But when you go home alone, you know what I'm saying? You still gotta deal with issues, you know what I'm saying? And that plastic surgery don't cover up the inside.
But child, did y'all ever think that we'd see today that we'd be taking plastic surgery advice from K.Michelle? Ever since she blew up on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and got us talking about Kirk and his 3 earrings, there have been a lot of receipts on what she used to look like before the money, when she was grinding and making music under Jive Records. And y'all, the K.Michelle we see now looks almost nothing like her old self. The complexion of her skin has changed, her nose has changed, her teeth have gotten replaced, and she's gotten several lip fillers that have added to her very changed appearance. At some points, fans were talking about how she seemed to have a new look every week because of how fast she was changing. But the crazy stuff with all of this was the different BBL procedures that K.Michelle was getting in a very short time period. When she started getting popular on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, she started looking at the different options to alter her body, believing that getting a BBL would take her fame and career to another level. As more money came in, she started looking around and eventually heard about a man in Atlanta who offered to inject her butt and hips with silicone. Now, her body, her choice, and K.Michelle won't be the first or last to ever get a BBL in order to further her career. But the way y'all be going to these underqualified wannabe medical practitioners to get them done though, child, that ain't it. And I shouldn't even be calling them medical practitioners because they probably learned a thing or two on YouTube and thought that they were good to go.
It was the worst decision of my entire life. It was on the black market, but I went to a person that was well known in my music circle,
When you say black market, define what he was and was not.
He was not a doctor. He does this in a hotel room. He told us that it was gel, some type of gel or whatever, when it was actually free-floating silicone in your body. So I didn't have any real symptoms until like 5-6 years later.
So the man that K.Michelle got was one of those black market dealers, and she was told that she was going to be injected with hydrogel injections. At first, she was like, maybe I shouldn't go through with this. But then she heard that her favorite rapper had gotten it done, and she went ahead and did the same thing. K.Michelle got those injections around 2012, and she was happy with the results. But instead of her just getting somewhere to sit down and enjoying her work, she kept going back for more and more and more. When she got her BBL in 2012, K.Michelle was ahead of the curve, and her sudden change in her appearance was getting her a lot of buzz and attention. But this situation was actually a hot mess. Her health took a turn for the worse and wasn't getting any better. She was constantly having migraines, backaches, leg pains, and was tired almost all the time. When she went to the doctor, she found out that the silicone had spread its way all the way to her legs, and it was damaging her tissue and threatening her overall health. The weight of her massive behind also led to several foot issues, and she had to visit the orthopedic surgeon just to get that figured out.
One morning, my legs gave out. I couldn't walk.
Wow.
Like, they just went out. I just dropped to the ground.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, and my vision was blurry. And I was like, did I have a stroke? Like, what is going on? So rushed, called the ambulance. Nothing was wrong because it doesn't show up. Like, they told me I had lupus. Then the lupus panel came back, well, no. At first it said lupus, and it came back, a full panel said no lupus. And so the MRI showed that the shot, you can look and see where it's black.
Wow.
So everybody with those shots, the inside of your butt, you can see it on the MRI because it's black. Because to do it right, it cost me upward of $300,000 because insurance doesn't cover it. Wow. So you can go spend $5,000 on it, but to get it out, it can cost you about $3,000 to get it out. So
were you insecure about your body?
I had a big ass, no.
Because I was going to say,
I just wanted
always had a shapely body.
So God has really humbled me, has really given me, because I already was curvy.
Yeah.
So I just wanted some more. So that's why I didn't have hips.
By 2018, K.Michelle was sick and she was done with BBLs. And the doctor recommended that she try liposuction to remove the silicone. She agreed to the procedure only to leave the hospital and find out that that procedure had spread the silicone further through her body. And it was more like K.Michelle was used as a guinea pig just to see if the process could actually work, since using liposuction to remove silicone wasn't a popular thing then.
I found a doctor that could treat me who shouldn't treat me. And he somewhat made it worse.
Wow.
Because he allowed it, and you can't lipo this type of thing. And that's what doctors first wanted to do. Well, it's like motor oil. So once they turn into pellets. So once you bust those pellets, it's like free-floating silicone in your body that's moving through your body.
And this wasn't a simple one-time procedure at all, because a few weeks later, she was rushed to the emergency room where she had to get 2 blood transfusions. Now, K.Michelle said that that moment was one of the scariest times in her life. She had these lumps of silicone moving all around her lower body and making her look disfigured. And even worse, she almost lost her life to something that she thought was going to take her to the next level. And that is the craziest part of it all. But there was even more coming, y'all. She found out that her recovery still wasn't over. She was told that she needed multiple reconstructive surgeries just to get all of that silicone out of her body and to get her health back on track. But the BBL wasn't just causing her health problems. K.Michelle later admitted that getting a BBL sort of pushed her into a box in terms of what she could do with her career. And there were certain roles that she couldn't take on because the directors didn't think she was a good fit. She really couldn't fit all of her assets into any major designer's dresses without having the outfit custom made for her. And that was a whole other expense that she wasn't prepared to deal with. By now, K.Michelle has completed 13 surgeries and has gotten most of the substances removed from her body. She also went to therapy so that she can learn how to work again after all of the foot issues the BBL caused her.
So I found a doctor that specialized in this, and it took me about 13 surgeries later in 3 years. And I would say this year is the first year I'm going on like a year and a half that I haven't had to have any surgery at all, that this has, thank you. This has been a thing where I've just been wanting to become an advocate for, to speak on, because that was like the worst time of my life.
And she also got a new reality show called My Killer Body to shed light on how difficult it could be living with the BBL, despite how social media tries to portray it as being the next best thing since sliced bread. Even now, K.Michelle hasn't stopped talking about how major getting a BBL is and has gone on multiple talk shows to share her experience and the fact that she is still having trouble so many years later.
But for me, my body has been such a big thing, and I really wasn't going to hide it, and I didn't with work. My work fell off last year, everything. It really affected.
Because of your health.
Yeah, it really affected my livelihood. So now I'm just feeling like I'm just getting back to like being me. I'm feeling and that's why I've been saying, like, I'm feeling better. We still have rough days since we're on tour, just trying to keep me healthy because I still have a lot in.
Fans even noticed that there must have been something wrong in one video where she was dancing. Her BBL seemed to suddenly deflate, like it had taken on a life of its own. She explained that her treatment wasn't over yet and still needed more surgery to remove excess skin from the area.
Very personal for me. I've always been very open about everything in my career. From the good, the bad, there's not in between when it comes to me. And when I started to go through this, I never once thought to hide it. or to keep it from the people that loved me and supported me. I wanted them not to make the same mistake as me because they were looking at me and looking up to me so much, whether it's relationship advice, whether it's any type of advice. So I wanted to tell the truth about what people won't say.
Despite everything K.Michelle has gone through, people have been praising her for still being open about it, because it really isn't easy to admit publicly that you messed up big time with your body. Shout outs to K.Michelle for being honest, her body done, and it affecting her health. I feel like a lot of these girls front like everything is all good after their surgeries. Them BBL shot girlies gonna fill them assisted living and nursing homes TF up in about 15-20 years because of health problems they gonna cause. Y'all seen K.Michelle behind fall off on camera? Them doctors don't give a F about nothing but money. People are really annoying me. K.Michelle decided to make a change for her health and rock her natural body, and y'all are really hating? You complained about her fake body and now about her natural. I'm blocking all haters. But what do y'all think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments and make sure that you subscribe, because there is more coming down the pipeline that you just don't want to miss. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies.